School District of Milton Board of Education meeting for February 23rd, 2026. Our vision is we believe in opportunities, achievement, and community for all. Our mission is the School District of Milton in partnership with the community, prepare our students for achievement and lifetime readiness by providing opportunities for all. And if we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
So I have a motion from John and a second from Rick. Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Action, I would entertain action on our minutes from February 9th of 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting held on February 9th, 2026 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion from Rick and a second from Ed. Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Action on the vouchers.
I move to approve general checking account vouchers totaling $1,271,361.76 as presented.
I'll second that.
I have a motion from Tracy, a second from John. Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Oh, no public comment tonight. And we are going to move on to the superintendent's update. Mr. Alvin?
Thank you. With this being the second board meeting of each month, we publicly recognize students and staff, many of whom are in attendance tonight. We start with our students, and our student recognition tonight is our Milton High School Red Hawk Media team. We will be introducing the students and the staff in just a minute. But before we do, we're going to play a video that they put together. And that group applied and was chosen from groups across the state of Wisconsin to be the official videographers of the Wisconsin School Board Association annual conference in January in Milwaukee. Our board members attended. I attended. Some of our admin team attended, as well as board members and administrators from across the entire state. So we're excited to be able to recognize that group, and we'll go ahead and play the video. And after we play the video that they put together, we will go ahead and have them come up and be recognized. So this is work that over a period of a couple days that our students did all of the filming, editing to put together this promotional video that the State School Board Association now is using to promote their conference. So we will go ahead and play the video.
For decades, leadership has revolved around things like title
present the Red Hawk recognition to our Red Hawk media team. If I could have join me, the students, Cash Klug, Matthew Yates, Lillian Duncan, Hunter Johnston, and Cashton Lee, if you are in the audience, are they here today? Come on up. As well as the teacher representation, Mr. Kwan, Ms. Brechtel, and Ms. Klubba. Chosen from among applicants across the state, Red Hawk Media students served as the student video team at the Wisconsin Association of School Boards Convention in January. The team interviewed attendees and speakers, including Governor Tony Evers and State Superintendent of Schools Jill Underley, documenting breakout sessions, keynote speakers, student performers, and the lighter moments of the convention. Our students sought to feature the camaraderie and collaboration that make the WASB Convention premier event for board members and district administrators from across the state. I could not be more proud of their efforts, of our learners, and we are grateful to WASB and RJ Larson for having given our Red Hawks this tremendous opportunity. Let's give them all another big round.
We'll have the board come take a picture.
Stay here. The school board.
Okay.
Congratulations again to our Red Hawk Media team. Incredible job. You should be very proud of the work that you've done, and we'll turn things over to Tracy then to introduce our Red Hawk recognition for our staff members tonight.
So I have 4 nominees that we're recognizing this evening. So I'll call them all up and then we'll take a picture all together with the board. Okay. Sarah Longhenry, nominated by Emily Smith and Chris Kleist. Sarah goes above and beyond every year to make sure that the health of our students during outdoor ed and back at NIS runs smoothly. She is available both day and night during our overnight stays to make sure that our students are well taken care of, and is beyond organized in making sure that our students receive what they need when they need it. We are beyond grateful for her and would be lost without her communication and planning. Thank you, Mrs. Stacy Adams. Stacy Adams was nominated by Allie Douglas. I'll give it to you first. Stacy goes above and beyond every single day to support the students she works with. She brings a bright smile to work that lifts others up and creates a positive environment. Her dedication has helped many students grow, succeed, and believe in themselves. Thank you. Kristen Gibson, nominated by Ryan Hanna. Mrs. Gibson consistently delivers a very uplifting and positive vibe to the students at each and every day. No 2 days are the same in her gym as her creativity launches new and fun activities for our students. Mrs. Gibson's energy is second to none, which often results in smiles, laughter, and fun, not just for the students, but also for the support staff like myself who are privileged to work with her. Thank you. Katie Kinman, nominated by Liz Evans. Katie Kinman is a teacher that has mastered the art of connecting with students and seeing their interests and needs in a classroom very quickly. Students who demonstrate giftedness in math, as well as those who find the content very challenging, feel seen and appreciated in her classroom. This is demonstrated by students who choose her classroom for flex and even choose to attend her after-school homework sessions she offers as students need them. Thank you, Ms. Kinman, for going above and beyond for our Red Hawks.
staff and students that were recognized, and family, you're welcome to stay for the rest of the board meeting, but you are also welcome to leave if you'd like. We will give you a minute to leave if you are leaving. Congratulations to everyone and thank you for your work. While folks are exiting, our administrators will be giving updates. So administrators, you can come up to the podium and we'll give people a minute before you get started though.
I'm like, I did this. I
It's not on
remembered.
you.
Okay.
Good job. Yeah, this is not a you. This is
Hello, good evening. All right. Our 4K through third grade buildings have been focused on maintaining strong instructional momentum and thoughtful planning over these past few weeks. Teams have been preparing for upcoming parent-teacher conferences to ensure meaningful communication with families. We've been organizing supports and schedules for our third grade students as they prepare for the Wisconsin Forward Assessment. And we've been meeting individually with staff for their mid-year educator effectiveness conferences to reflect on growth and next steps. Elementary leaders also participated in iReady Math learning walks this past week to deepen our understanding of our curriculum resource and strengthen how we support teachers in the classroom.
We're doing a lot of those same things, but to highlight some Northside, last week, we invited Opera for the Young to come perform for us, but also had some of our students also participating. So that was on Friday. We're preparing for conferences as well. Important, I want to thank the board for approving the playground. So I've been working with Mr. Shantz in getting those dates, planning with Mrs. Stuckey on what that's going to look like through summer school. So that's something exciting to look forward to. And then lastly, just want to thank our parents group. You know, we have the book fair and conference meals. A lot of the Northside parents are stepping up to help support our students at school.
Good evening. Last week at Milton Middle School was quite possibly the highlight of my career as an administrator at the middle school. So many exciting things happened. The week kicked off with that Saturday polar plunge. I know Mr. Dahmen has talked about that in previous updates. That amount raised was $4,762. 13 students and 1 teacher took the plunge. So that was an exciting kickoff to the week. We had our Avid Week, which includes a big focus on career readiness. There was a food drive, there was trivia connected to college and career opportunities, and some additional guest speaker opportunities. Wednesday was the big highlight. We had New York Times bestselling author Nick Stone at our school. Jessie Fetting had won the Herb Cole Fellowship Award in 2021 and had not spent that recipient money yet. So she used that to bring the author to our school. Milton Middle School does not often put all students in the gymnasium. We do 2 separate assemblies when we do have assemblies. So this was a big roll of the dice and they rose to the occasion and were amazing. And it was creating so much buzz throughout the rest of the week. So definitely a highlight. That led into Thursday being our theater production of The Addams Family. We are blessed to have 2 amazing middle school directors who put on a fantastic show, and they performed Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and continued to get better and better each time. So they just did a great job. And then Mr. Billhorn probably will talk about this a little bit more, but the first ever robotics competition that included a middle school team. So we are excited about all of those great things that happened at Milton Middle School.
All right. So at the high school, it was a busy week as well. But actually, this last week, we had the juniors have been preparing for the ACT. ACT is on March 10th. It kicked off. Miss Huber and I hang out all the juniors in the PAC and talked about how to study, what this next month can look like. And then for all last week, juniors worked with the social studies, English, science, and math departments, doing practice ACTs, getting tips and tricks, and really working and focusing and getting ready. And we have a lot of students who are taking those practice tests, getting ready for March 10th. On March 10th, by the way, you're going to have the pancake breakfast for all the juniors. That's at 7 o'clock that morning. Also, this last week, let's see what happened this weekend. So the fishing club had competed at the state tournament. They placed 17th out of over 100 teams there. So they did an amazing job, capping off an amazing year. The state wrestling, where to start here? So we have 5 girls qualified for state wrestling, 5 boys qualified for individual state wrestling. And then the boys surprised us a little bit, and they are qualified for the team state tournament, which will be held in 2 weeks in lacrosse. So really exciting for Pat and his teams. They're very proud of him. Colson Pernod is a freshman who swam at the state swim meet and the 50-meter dash this last week. And as Tara said, the the robotics competition, Red Hawk Robotics hosted a VEX tournament. 32 teams from across Wisconsin were there. Representing, I believe it was 16 or 17 schools. Really, really excited. I wasn't exactly sure what to expect there, but Rob Thomas and the parents really, really stepped up. That was a lot of fun. There was a lot going on, but talking with the folks from VEX, they were really pleased with our inaugural event. Listening in the pits and hearing kids adjust their bots between different competitions, the problem solving that's happening, the adjustments, the drama. It was pretty cool. And so we're really proud of all of our students and Mr. Thomas. We're eager to get a date on the VEX tournament schedule that we can be a constant one. And we're hoping to do it again next year.
Thank you to all the principals. There is one other thing that I would like to highlight. We found out last week that the Milton Area Chamber of Commerce has named our school district as their large employer of the year for this year. And we will be recognized at their annual awards dinner, a night with the stars. Chelsea has the certificate that we have, and that will take place on March 12th of 2026. And that really is a recognition of the work that all of our staff, our administrators, our school board do to make our school district such an outstanding place. So we have really strong partnership with our local Chamber of Commerce. I would describe it as a win-win. Our school district benefits greatly from the strong partnership that we have with local businesses and the Chamber, and our local businesses and the Chamber benefit from us having a very strong school district. So we're proud to be receiving that award, and congratulations to our entire team for everything that they've done to lead up to that. And then the last thing in the agenda for the superintendent update, Annette, do you want to introduce that? Both our names are on that item.
So we had one of the candidates for our district assembly reach out and ask if he could meet with us and just find out what our issues are, what are the most important things that we can, that we would expect from a state representative. And so we met with him on Thursday and had I think a very productive conversation. I don't think any of you will be surprised by what we said our issues were. It was funding, unfunded mandates, keeping and being able to pay our high quality staff what they deserve. I think those were our big 3. Did I miss any?
Yeah, I think it falls kind of under one of those categories that you talked about. We talked a little bit about increasing medical insurance costs and the impact that has on school districts across the state and on families across the state. So it was nice to meet Paul McGraw. I had not met him before. And as Annette shared, he is running for the 43rd Assembly District. And he's running against incumbent Breanne Brown. And we've also reached out to her in case she's also interested in meeting with us. And we're looking to set up a time to meet with her.
Any questions?
Yeah, just a quick one. Do we split any zones? Because we're such a large school district, is it just, we have multiple, or is it just we all fall into one? I apologize for not.
Yeah,
knowing the question.
the districts, the assembly districts don't correspond to school district boundaries. So like Brianne Brown is our current representative, and she covers multiple different school districts fall into her assembly district. And that was everything that I had under the superintendent update.
Yeah.
May I ask how the cereal box went at Northside?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot to say something about it. So, thank you. I collected over 1,500 boxes, and we did it a little different this year. Last year, we had done it through the halls. Thank you to Carrie Cleva. She was there to make the video. She's working on it. But it was very successful. A lot of students and all of the staff, all hands on deck. Mr. Downey was there too. So thank you for your help.
Yeah, that was fun. We had a great turnout. Staff did an outstanding job, and students really worked hard both to collect and to set up all of those cereal boxes to then knock them down.
We had one near miss. I don't know if you saw that, the top row.
A near miss. Yeah.
Well, yes.
Any other questions? So we will move on to the superintendent hiring committee report. Since our last board meeting, the committee has met and we have finalized our interview schedule. You'll see that is in your portal. We have finalized our day in the district schedule, and Chelsea has sent you holds for your calendar for those dates and times. Saturday at 8:30 a.m. for our first March 14th, we will start with coffee and snacks at 8:30 and then spend the rest of the day interviewing. We will also have lunch. Chelsea will be sending out some information on that. On Wednesday, March 18th, which is our day in the district, the board is invited to join the candidates at noon for a lunch. And the board is invited to join the candidates for dinner from 5 to 5:45. And also if they wish to attend the community sessions, which will happen right after dinner. And we will again meet on Thursday, the 19th. And Chelsea will be sending another request out to you. We're going to have a dinner brought in, which we can have with our three candidates from 5:45 to 6:15, and we'll start our final interviews immediately after that. It should be a long night. That's what I'll say. Everything that I've shared with you is available in the portal. Additionally, we met and we have developed a draft contract, which we will review tonight in executive session. Additionally, I think Chelsea will be asking us at the end of this meeting to set a tentative special meeting at the last week of March to hopefully approve a final candidate. We're going to hear our leadership profile tonight in just a few minutes. And I think we're going to start talking about interview questions next. So with that, did I miss anything to John and Rick?
Just to confirm, the schedule is not just in our portal, but it's also on our website, correct?
I don't think it is yet. I would expect
Will be, though.
after tomorrow when we all meet,
Okay.
we'll look at that. Thank you. When I say tomorrow when we all meet, there's a group of school district employees and myself that go through everything before anything goes live. So that group will meet tomorrow. I think at this point, we're going to pause and connect with our HYA representative, Mike Ritchie, to share our leadership profile. Oh, as she's setting this up, please do not use your microphones. If you have questions, we're going old school and you'll have to.
Okay. Mike, can you hear us?
Loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Hear him okay?
Yes.
We are up to full volume. All right, so it's just like the old times when we used to just shout at the puck. Okay.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you, and I enjoyed listening to all of your awards and your presentations. That is exactly what's going to draw quality candidates to your district. Just the outstanding work that everyone does. So it's nice to listen to all that. So for tonight, I'm not going to take a lot of time. You have the leadership report. It's in the board portal as well. And basically what we do tonight is we go through it very, very quickly, and it just gives you a chance to ask me any questions about it. But then after tonight, it does get posted on your district website, and it'll be posted on the HYA website as well. And now the candidates are going to have the opportunity to go through it and read through it to see what the Milton School District is all about. So let me just give me a few minutes to go through it, and then I'll give you another update too as far as the search and how the applicants are coming in as well. I know you have a long night with your board meeting. So with the leadership profile report, we started off by just talking about the district, what makes up the district. So basically it repeats what the posting was for anyone that maybe missed the posting or didn't see it. It just kind of highlights your district. And then we go into the survey, just a quick survey, a couple of questions we had there about the quality of the district. You did have, 219 responses, which was good. But the really good news is 83% speak very, very highly of your district. That's a high number, so that's nice to see that as well. Then we start getting into, I'm going to have to watch your screen because my computer, I've got a laptop and I'm working off of, but it is not showing me my report, but I can see the one on my desktop. So whoever is scrolling, I'm just going to go off of what you're doing. So just keep scrolling down and I'll just continue to talk. So there you can see, right there, you can stop. You can see the number of focus groups that we did. It kind of gives you the makeup of the focus group. Just keep scrolling. And then we get into the board. The first section here is the board. It talks about the strengths identified by the board. And then what we do for all of these now, we look for common themes. So the board felt that academic excellence, student-centered learning, strong leadership, and engaged community and financial were the strengths of the district. Then we get down to the challenges of the board. And they talked about the financial pressure, sustaining that financial, accountability, the staffing, and it was more of trying to retain and recruit high quality staff, and that's everywhere. And then the change with the growth, and there's some emerging issues when you have a district that's growing as well. So you keep going down. And then we talk about the characteristics. And so you can see, clear vision, strategic leadership, trust, ethics, people-centered, team builder, strong communicator, and obviously student-focused and a community leader as well. Then we go down to the parents, and that's the same procedure, the same process. So the parents felt that there was a strong community pride, caring, committed staff, inclusive culture, well-rounded opportunities. That came up quite a bit, all the opportunities for the students as well. Keep going, please. Then we get to the challenges. Again, managing growth. And as you know, it can be an issue. The funding, and then staff and resource constraints, and then communication and technology needs as well. So, and those, I just want to say that when you talk about the challenges, that can be something that's a good thing. It's identified and it needs just to be addressed, and maybe needs to go a little bit in a different direction. So it's nice that everyone is identifying what those are. And the characteristics then for the parents that they want to see the next superintendent: transparency, high integrity, strong communicator, visible out in the community, innovative, and then experienced and student-centered as well. Then we go down to the staff. So high achievement level, dedicated staff, that came up over and over, the quality of the staff, the leadership stability, community pride, support, and financial strength. The challenges, again, growth is mentioned as a challenge, financial, staffing, policy pressures, equity, communications as well. And then the characteristics of what they're looking for is consistent, steady leadership, strong communicator, student-focused, data-driven, people-centered, visible, ethical, and a champion of your district as well. Then we go down to page 11. We talk about the students, great group of students. Again, they mentioned the strength as strong community support, school pride, caring, high quality teachers, student engagement, and lots of opportunities for students. And then the challenges, academic readiness, course options, communication, and diversity, and the school climate as well. We get down to what they're looking for in the next superintendent, visible. All the students, they say they want to see the superintendent in the building. They want to see that person, walk around, go to events as well, hands-on, student-centered, strong community connection, respect for district culture and pride, and then that commitment to continuous improvement. So as we go down, now what we do is we look for themes across all the groups. So on the bottom of page 12, if it was mentioned in all the groups as multiple times, the highest of that would have been the high student achievement, quality teaching, exceptional staff, leadership stability, strong community and pride, financial strength, and then the opportunities for the students. So those emerged in all groups as the common themes. Challenges, again, not surprising, the financial sustainability, attracting, retaining staff, especially that support staff area, managing the growth, evolving the student needs, and then the communication as we go into those 21st century challenges. The desired characteristics amongst all the group are visible out in the community, strong, transparent leader, high character, trust, ethical leadership, student-centered, people-centered, consistent, steady leadership of a clear vision was really important, innovative, and a responsible problem solver. So as we look at the profile then, okay, what is that desired profile? Again, it kind of repeats itself here, but just visible, student-centered, community leader, transparent, trust, ethical leader, people-focused, team builder as well. And then when we go down that vision, they have to have a vision. And then the rest of this report just kind of shows some of the comments that were made or recorded amongst all the groups with the strengths. You can just kind of scroll right through this, but the strengths and then the challenges as well. So all those bullet points were mentioned in the focus groups. So just gives you an idea of what was said. And then we get to the appendix. And then you can keep going. This is a summary of the survey. Talks a lot about what I just mentioned, so I'm not going to repeat it. But the focus groups in the survey were really very closely related, as you'll see as you read through this. And then this is the other part that we give you as well. ECRA actually owns HYA, and they're an analytical company, and they do the state report card analysis for many, many districts across the state. And so we throw this in as well. It's just your curriculum people, your principals love this piece. So I would highly recommend that they go through it and look at your test scores are very good. They're very high. And any candidate's going to go through this and say, wow, that's a very high achieving school district. So that is the report. So you can just keep going and it's just going to end. So this time, I guess I will ask if there are any questions from the board members about the report, what you saw, any surprises, anything that stood out.
I'll go. So, first of all, thank you very much for all of this information. I spent a lot of time yesterday going through it. It's very comprehensive. I feel like if it wasn't even a consensus of the group, you made sure that whoever's voice it was heard. So I do appreciate that. It was a lot of data to consider, not necessarily surprising, but there were some surprises. So I just wanted to thank you for the time and energy and that you and your team put into putting this together. I find it extremely helpful.
And this is something, especially when you look at those challenges, that new superintendent, as they meet with staff, they meet with students, they meet with the administrators, they can talk about them and they can break this down further within their conversations. So it does become a great roadmap for the new superintendent.
I'm going to echo much of what Tracy said and also add it was, I'm going to use the word comforting to see that a comprehensive conversation with our community led to some items that I think we probably could have said, oh, we think this is what's happening and what we need. But it was nice to know there's consensus among our multiple communities to guide some of that work as we move forward. Anyone else? Mike, I want to thank you for joining us and for putting the report forward. As was discussed earlier about schedules, we hope to put this report up online by tomorrow so that if people want to see the results, it will be available.
Great. And just very quickly, just a reminder that the application process closes on March 2nd. We do accept applications up until 11:59 p.m. on March 2nd. And we do get a few on that very last day. Then we'll have to screen them and vet them. And also, just to give everyone an update, you currently have 19, well, actually you have 18 completed applications. You have one that's not quite completed yet. So you've got 18 that are in the portal that you should see. And I believe the day in the district schedule is finalized, and that'll get posted fairly soon as well. So any other questions?
Thank you. I think.
All right. Have a great rest of your board meeting.
Thank you. We'll
All
take
right.
a short pause while Carrie disconnects the puck and gets us back on our microphone. All right, moving on to number 4, I would enter, Mr. Dahman, we've got the staffing update.
John, did you want to introduce anything with that? Or?
Yeah, I mean, nothing really that you won't cover. We met last week, Monday, the ICCSS committee. Some pretty cool stuff we talked about. What I wanted to point out was 3 of the 5 things all involved student opportunities, giving our students some opportunities, and some of them are new. So that's a great thing. All 5 items are informational based only, with possibly some future board action. So that's just what I wanted to share.
And I'll share some highlights from the staffing update. We have a slideshow that's in board docs. We talked about our current enrollment and our projected enrollment for next year. And projected enrollment is always a little bit loose this time of year, especially for 4K and for kindergarten. We have families that are registering right now for next year in 4K and kindergarten, but we know that we'll get more families registering. So if you go to that second slide and just and we'll just pause briefly on each slide. So you can see on this slide, the top table is our second Friday count from January at kindergarten through 12th grade and the total. And our preliminary projections for next year are rolling each grade up, looking at any new enrollments that we have. And again, the kindergarten projection for next year is at 201. We're getting closer to that, but we're not there yet. As of today, we have 187 kindergartners registered, but we do know that number always goes up a little bit between now and as we get closer to the start of the school year. But But you can see that total of 3227 from kindergarten through 12th grade is very close to the total that we have right now. And again, as that kindergarten class gets closer to that 201, we think that they'll end up pretty close together. On the next slide is the planned number of sections from kindergarten through 6th grade by each school. And then across the bottom, you can see the total number of sections at each grade level. There's a few different grade levels that are highlighted there. And those are places where we're looking at some section alignment to align with enrollment for the coming year. It's not on the list, but we're looking at increasing one FTE at Milton High School for next year as we anticipate larger enrollment at the high school, decreasing one FTA at Northside as we're seeing smaller groups at Northside next year as the different grade levels move through. And then at both East and Harmony, moving one section from kindergarten to 1st grade. Again, at East and Harmony, as a larger kindergarten class moves into 1st grade, and we anticipate a smaller kindergarten class moving in. Shifting one section of 3rd grade from East to West to match student alignment. And we've shared earlier that our guided flight program is going to be expanding, not moving to East, but expanding to East so that we will have that program offered at both Milton West and at Milton East for next year. Then there's a little bit more information on the guided flight program on the next slide. It looks at a historical look back at that growth. And as we had shared earlier and had talked about a few times during the year, we saw very significant growth last year to the point that we had outgrown our space to have that program only at Milton West. So again, that now will be expanded to Milton East. And for those positions that are changing, we've reached out to teaching staff to ask for any volunteers to change their assignments. All of responses for requests for interest in changing positions will be taken into consideration. And then we'll be looking at those and communicating out any teaching staff shifts by early April. And there are no planned reductions in force for the teaching staff. I had shared that. We're adding one section at the high school, reducing one section at Northside, but that won't be someone that will be let go. That will be a position that will be absorbed through resignations or retirements. And actually in the staffing report to date, there's a teacher from Northside that has announced that they will be retiring. So any questions from the board on that topic? And I guess the one other thing that I would add is it's very preliminary, especially the enrollment, and we'll continue to make adjustments and bring more information as we get closer to the end of this school year. We'll bring a more tuned in update as that enrollment changes.
Parents, I'm sorry, staff, community, et cetera. Growth was the first bullet point and the first concern addressed by all the groups, not counting the school board. We're not anticipating the growth in the hard numbers that we've got in front of us, and I realize that those change and they ebb and flow. I don't want someone outside of our district to look at us, and I would assume that some of our superintendent candidates might go back and look at this HYA report. It has lots and lots of data, and if you're going to interview with us, I would suggest to them that that's a really good resource, right, for a snapshot of our district, et cetera. I'm just concerned about the two different messages. You just told us we're not going to grow. We're going to be flat, which is good, right? Declining student enrollment statewide. If you can stay flat, well, that's probably a win. But we're not looking at any kind of imminent growth
in spite of the anecdotal information that everyone is somewhat leaning on, right? The housing development, the business development, et cetera. Those don't translate into students like they did a generation ago. So I just want to make sure that we're not sending two different messages with the data.
And Rich, before you go too deep into that, because it isn't on our agenda to talk about growth, and I have asked it to be added to a future agenda so that we can explain to the community why what's happening is happening. Let's just kind of keep it at a high level.
Yeah, I can respond at a really high level, but I think it is important that we circle back to that. And I think, Joe, you hit the nail on the head that a lot of our housing growth and business growth that is happening at different places around our community, a lot of that is still in the works. And sometimes there's a lag between a housing development being planned and housing taking place, and then school-age families moving in to that. And the other piece of that is that, and you shared this, Joe, is that oftentimes, if a community is growing and families are moving into the district, it offsets the natural decline that's taking place across the state as families are waiting longer to have children and having fewer children. So our projection for this coming year is that will be very stable, and we're kind of on a 12 or so year trend of very, very stable enrollment.
I'm good.
Thank you. Could you make the correlation between, and I understand when you look at the under high school, so you have first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, even through Northside. But when you get to the high school, how is there, so it says 1 FTE increase at the high school. They don't really have root, like how do you correlate that? Like, is it just in broadening opportunities, or it's not, because it's not like a extra homeroom or anything. There's not that many additional students, I guess, moving through. I was just trying to make that correlation.
Yeah, that's another great question. It's a little bit different at both the middle school and the high school, whether we're reducing FTE or adding FTE, which we are in this case. Typically what we would do if the enrollment is going to be going up like it is at the high school for next year compared to this current year, then I would let Principal Billhorn know that they'll be allocated one more FTE. He would look at current class sizes, student needs, student registration, and determine where was the biggest need for that additional position. I don't remember if he shared this publicly with the board or not, but the plans are that staffing will be in the sciences area, and some of those sections then will be additional healthcare sciences classes, which is exactly what you had shared, additional opportunities for students at the high school that meet a student need. If there aren't any other questions on that, Principal Billhorn had the next couple agenda items from the ICCSS committee.
That's right. So I'll go through those, and actually I will do my best impersonation of Jeff Spivak, because I'm going to be Jeff tonight as well too. But the first item on that were career pathways for the committee. I did share a set of documents, and I think the PDFs are in the packet. There they are. Of the pathways that we have used as students are selecting classes. So if you take a look at the agricultural science pathway, you scroll to the bottom there. For each of these, we give a description of what that pathway is and what courses are aligned with that. So as students, the admin and student services team, as we're preparing for course selections, we're trying to, our program of studies book is this great document, but it's 80 some pages long. And it's a bit daunting. And so we made these one pagers for students to pick up. They were a hit at the ninth grade, the incoming ninth grade, the showcase, the planning night that we had. So if areas of interest, now it's not like it's picking a major, but it's what are the areas of concentration that we do have, and what are some of the options that they do have. And so we have found these documents to be very helpful as students are planning and thinking about what they would like to do. So I shared those documents. I think there's 12 or 13 of them that were shared. I also shared in that same the second PDF there on academic programming. So we put together a series of brochures that kind of go into a packet for people who are interested in Milton High School. This is an overview of what the programming is at the high school and the activities as well. Some highlights of things that students do, and we also chose to highlight some of our seniors and what they're doing as they graduate. And we'll continue to update this. For example, we did send this to all the resident 8th graders who are not attending Milton High School. So all the residents in our district, residents, receive this, and we received a lot of phone calls, interest in what are some of the options that we had there. I will tell you one that this bring back one of the things you mentioned before too. We had a group of families that are very interested in robotics that came on Saturday, and so we had a long talk about what some of the options are that they had with the middle school and high school in that area. And so I shared with the committee just some of these documents of what we're using to both direct our students and also attract more students. Are there any questions about the career pathways of programming?
I would just like to say, I think the pathways that was great. I was looking through that. It must help as well when the kids are trying to enroll themselves.
Yep.
And now that you've moved to that, this gives them a kind of a one snapshot, like there's what I'm looking for as I move forward.
Right. The weeks that we had when we were working with students to advise them on which courses to take, these documents are very helpful with regards to that. So the next one I have there, Rich did start on that. That's the update on the healthcare sciences at the high school. As Rich mentioned, the additional FTE is going to go into sciences. And majority of those sections actually are going to be in the life sciences and more sections of the healthcare sciences. For example, we're going to be able to offer more PLTW, human body systems, more anatomy and physiology. We are actually offered 5 sections of introduction to healthcare sciences, where we had 2 this year. We filled all these courses. So going through the course selection, the students are building their schedules. All those sections that we designed are beginning to fill. And most of them are 80+% filled, and some of them are at capacity. Many of them are at capacity. So we hit that one well, and so we're happy that we're very grateful we're able to add that position at the high school. The other update that I shared is just with our CNA. I had shared previously in different capacities, both at the committee level and at the board, about CNA and the number of students who are wishing to take those courses at the high school level. But we were limited in working with what Blackhawk Tech could provide. Amy Kenyon has secured another organization that is going to provide the CNA training. It's Wisconsin, Illinois, State Line Senior Living that has a program working with high school. So we're going to be able to add another trimester next year. So we're going to offer the course all 3 trimesters, and we're going to offer it as a summer school course as well. And so we'll have students who will be able to take CNA in the first weeks of the summer. It'll be a full day course. So they'll do that over 3 or 4 weeks. I forget how long they have that, but we'll be able to offer that opportunity as a summer school course that gets students working into the healthcare industry that much faster. They can work their entire junior or senior year in that area. So I shared. Any questions about the updates on healthcare sciences?
Quick question, Jeremy. When it comes to the summer school program, that staff member, are they already committed to summer school, or do we have a second option if they didn't want to do the summer school?
So the person the courses are actually taught. It's a joint course. So it's actually a trainer through this state line organization. It has to be a registered nurse with X experiences. She will be teaching that course this summer. We're able to offer high school credit through our CTE program, something the state allows. That's actually through Amy Kenyon. So we're able to offer dual credit with that with regards to high school credit, and they get the certification as well. Any other questions on healthcare sciences? With that then, Jeff Spivak spoke about the Bowen transition, and I'll do my best to speak to that. But in Jeff's world and in high school athletics, the program that the state had used for years was our school. Our school was bought out 2 years ago. The transition to the company who purchased that did not go well. And so contracts are being dropped. It was not speaking with other parts of the software, and statewide, many schools began to switch or consider switching to a different program called Bound. And roughly about half the school districts in Wisconsin have actually switched to Bound. Earlier this winter, the Badger Conference as a group decided to choose to use Bound as their scheduler. It schedules the games. It also schedules contracts for all officials and game workers. And so it's a pretty beefy program. It certainly dominates Jeff's arena. But what it also does is it is a facility scheduler. So as we do transition to Bound, this would be a larger impact across the district, where Bound will be used for facility scheduling across all buildings. So that transition is happening. Jeff and Tracy have been kind of cloistered there as they're putting together the trainings and work to help all of our users and even the district use that new program. The other part here, just briefly, Jeff shared working with the middle school about potentially adding middle school programming in the areas of swim and cross country. Actually, they'll be bringing cross country back, looking at ways how to provide more opportunities at the middle school level, and then also how those obviously would feed and help the high school programs as well.
Jeremy, on the on E, the swim that Jeff's speaking of, is that like a competitive swim team, or is that?
It would be. So Jeff and Matt from the middle school have been working with the Janesville School District. So they have competitive swim at the three middle schools in Janesville. And so Janesville would love to have Milton Middle School working with them. They could have 4 schools have a little competitive season, but they would be able to practice at the high school, obviously at the pool, but then have a season with those 3 schools and potentially more, but be working with the Janesville middle schools. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Billhorn. We're going to move on to the Governance Committee review. Ed.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Just to refresh the board's memory, back on February 3rd, the Governance Committee got together with a host of admin and went through some policies, 18 of which were in need of updating, 2 of which are being rescinded, and 3 of which are new. Those policies were presented to the board at the last board meeting, and tonight we would look for a motion to approve those policies.
I have a motion from Rick and a second from Tracy. Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Motion carries.
I'll just hand over to Mr. Dahman here, but just to set the stage, we also had a discussion on strategic planning goals, and we kind of volleyed that into the administrative team, and Mr. Dahman's going to give us an update on that.
Yeah, in board docs, there are 2 documents for this agenda item. There is a memo that talks about, in our strategic plan, we have our mission statement, vision statement, and 5 pillars. The 5 pillars are teaching and learning, relationships, climate and culture, high quality staff, community engagement, and operations and facilities. For each of those 5 pillars, there is an overall goal and then anywhere from 2 to 4 other focus areas that we work on over time. And at the board meeting on February 9th, we looked at a draft of different topic areas under each of those pillars because we're updating those goals and focus areas. And the board, as Ed shared, the board asked our administration to prioritize those different topic areas for potential goals and or focus areas. And at tonight's board meeting, we're bringing the areas that our admin team felt could be considered for priority. And then at an upcoming governance committee meeting on March 2nd, we can bring a draft of some goals for each of those areas for the board to consider and then bring those back to the board. So Chelsea, if you want to bring up that document that has a list for each of those pillars. You can see on this document, the first pillar, teaching and learning. Julie Musgrove is at a conference, so she's not able to join us tonight. But you can see there in the same format from the others, the possible goal area would be using multiple measures to understand scholar learning. And then priorities for focus areas are ensuring alignment to essential K-12 standards, strengthening systems of support, whether that's response to intervention or multi-level systems of support, and developing and expanding career pathways to connect learning to post-secondary education careers and workforce readiness. If the board would like us to bring a draft of a goal in that multiple measures to understand and assess scholar learning, we can put together a draft of something and bring it through the governance committee to the board at the next meeting. If there are other areas that the board would prefer that we have a goal in or focus areas in other than the ones that are listed, then we could bring drafts in those areas through the governance committee too. So maybe what we can do is for each of the 5 pillars, just kind of stop there for teaching and learning and see if there's any questions or discussion from the board on those areas that our admin team is recommending that we prioritize.
I'll go first. So on the teaching and learning one, I did use the spreadsheet, Ed. Thank you very much. The only other one that I thought was slightly, maybe it's one that's kind of expanded, is the strengthening. It's the one that's strengthening aligned curriculum opportunities across 4K through 12 to ensure coherence, rigor, and access for all scholars. Listening to what was said during the HYA, and I read that, and that's where this kind of triggered it, was the students are asking for more opportunity. So making sure that we're hearing their voices as well.
And I think that that would work out well. As I shared earlier, we typically have anywhere from 2 to 4 focus areas in addition to the goal. So if we did have the one goal area and the other 3 that are highlighted plus the one that Tracy mentioned, that would give us 4 focus areas in that area. So it wouldn't be a problem to also include that as something that we continue to work on, and that all of these are things that we continue to work on, every single bullet point, but the ones that get highlighted as focus areas in our strategic plan or a specific goal in our strategic plan, then we know across our district that that's something that's going to be carried on. So we can certainly add that to our priority list when we bring that through at our next meeting. If there aren't any other questions on that section in the relationships, climate, and culture, Whitney Weiss is the lead for that. And I won't read through all of these for each of the rest. I read them on the first one just so that we could see the format. But you can see a recommended goal area there and 3 different focus areas. But again, if there are any others that the board would like to add or edit any of those, we certainly can do that in preparation for that next meeting. One thing that I want to highlight on that one, that recommended goal is to analyze and respond to the SEL data, including the SEL screener. Our goal from our current strategic plan that we'll be moving away from was around developing and implementing that SEL screener. So our previous goal was putting that screener in place. Now that we have it in place, a logical goal would be to use that data that we get to address student learning in the area of SEL.
Yeah, Rich, I agree. And thanks for including this. This is something that I know a lot of the admins and staff work on a lot, and I know that the board hears a lot about it. So I do like the idea of including that one. So
if we go to the next area is high quality staff. And we know that high quality staff has carryover into all of the other pillars too, but you can see there the ones that are highlighted. The possible goal is maintaining a competitive compensation and benefits package for all employee groups using market comparables. And that's listed both under a retention and attracting, because that's an important piece of both retaining staff and attracting new staff. And then you can see the 2 focus areas that are recommended under the staff development and training. So any questions or thoughts from the board in that pillar of high quality staff?
No, I really like those goals because, again, I think it relates back to what our community and our staff are saying. So we're hearing
what they're saying, and we're building it into our future. So I think those are really good goals.
We've moved to a system where we use market comparables for all of our employee groups, and that has served us well. If there aren't any other questions on that one, community engagement, Carrie Kleba has been the lead for that, and Chris Tukendorf was the lead for high quality staff. You can see in the community engagement the possible goal of maintaining accessible ADA compliant content across all platforms. That is a requirement by April of 2027. It'll be a pretty heavy lift. There's a lot involved with that. And you can see the two other focus areas that are highlighted. Questions or thoughts on community engagement? If not, the fifth pillar, operations and facilities, the admin lead is Ross McPherson. And you can see a recommended possible goal is maintaining a 20 to 25% general fund balance to strengthen both the cash flow stability and reduce borrowing. And you can see the other three bulleted points are recommended focus areas under operations and facilities. Questions or thoughts there? If not, I just want to then reinforce that we have a governance committee meeting coming up a week from today. We will draft up some draft goals and bring them through the committee for discussion, and then bring those recommended goals in each of those 5 areas to the board at that next school board meeting.
Rich, just a general overall of all the goals, and probably this is probably a deeper dive at committee meeting, but the goals, will there be accompanying metrics so that we can have measurements of success?
Yes, the goals will have a SMART goal format. They'll have metrics and a time line tied to each of them.
Perfect. Great. Thank you.
That was everything that I had on that topic. So thank you to the board for the feedback there.
And we will move on to new business and an update on the digital map project. Carrie Kleba.
I cannot pretend this is going to be riveting, but it is really important to school safety. You'll recall several months ago, it was reported that we received a grant from the Department of Justice to update our maps to a digital mapping process. So this is actually more in alignment with what we see emergency responders using, where it's an interactive live map. We contracted with a Wisconsin company, MeTech, and they did their work over the summer to map all of our campuses. So that includes not only every school building, but district office and Schilberg Park and Central Park. Those maps, I'm proud to say, are about 95% complete. We have a couple of finishing touches, but as we are so near to completion, I wanted to kind of share an idea of what those look like and how they're going to support law enforcement. So you can view them through the link that's provided. You're actually going to see the public portal. And because of the sensitive information on those maps, the public portal is only going to show so much. What I am going to give you kind of a sense of here, if I can get my screen sharing going. Might not be able to AirPlay it if the HDMI is plugged in. Okay. So sorry, Chelsea. Can I just unplug it from my part? Sure. Give her a try. I did not mean to make this meeting go any longer. I apologize. We tried an input. We need to get to a different one. On the how about I give it to you? Okay. You're getting closer. Sorry, so we're having tech issues. How about I offer anybody who wants to see it after the meeting, come see Mrs. Kleba in the back, and I'll review how those look on the iPad for what law enforcement would see. If you do have any questions, please do let me know. Happy to help.
I just want to take a minute and say thank you. This is really important work and hopefully never used, but also really important if needed. So it's very, very good job.
Carrie, thank you for putting that together. Into closed session, when we have our annual meeting about this school safety and stuff, would we get a chance to maybe see what the law enforcement might work with?
I can absolutely offer you a demonstration
curious.
even now if you wanted to take a peek at the non-public portal. This is what the law enforcement
Yeah.
is.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, just whenever it's scheduled
Absolutely.
anyway. Yeah,
100%.
thanks.
Carrie, again, thank you. This is super important. Do you automatically share with the law enforcement in the area, Milton, Janesville, or do they have to log in? Like, is it something that you have that relationship? How does that actually work?
That's a good question. So we are required to update our maps annually with several different entities. I know I handle with Office of School Safety. Chelsea, I believe, connects with local law, like Milton PD. But that's the beauty of these maps, is that it now goes up to even higher levels. So this means federal agencies, federal responding agencies, state, local, all have access to the same map. And that means that if we do have a large scale crisis where multiple agencies are responding, they're all using the same map to work off of. And that really improves their ability to respond and to handle the situation.
Thank you for that. And one last question. How often is this updated?
Well, it's updated when there's a dramatic change. So one of the tests I want to take on is every summer, if we do move around classrooms, that is to say a teacher is in a different room, we have access to these maps to make those updates locally. If there's a change in the footprint or the interiors of the building, we would need to engage again with METEC to make those adjustments. That was actually one of the reasons why we did select them, because they offered a very reasonable, frankly, reasonable process in which to complete that. And yet we still retained ownership and the ability to conduct minor changes.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I just wanted to share that one of Carrie's hats is our safety coordinator for our district. And in that role, she does an outstanding job of coordinating with local and regional law enforcement, both to work on these maps, but also to practice different drills and tabletop scenarios with folks. So I want to thank Carrie and everyone that she works with and our local law enforcement for everything that they do to help keep our students and staff safe.
And I would echo that and say I did look at what we have on our website, and I think that is really good too. As a parent, a community member, you can look at that and have a general idea of what's happening in our district building. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we are now on to miscellaneous. Action on staffing reports.
I'll move to approve the staffing report as presented.
I have a motion from John, a second from Rick. Any questions on the staffing report? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Gifts and donations.
I'll make a motion to approve the gifts and donations with gratitude.
Second.
I have a motion from Rick and a second from Tracy. Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And we are on to meeting dates.
We have a few upcoming meetings this week. On Wednesday, we have a staff advisory meeting on Wednesday, February 25th. That's at 4:00 here in the PDC. A week from tonight, we have two committee meetings. On Monday, March 2nd, a finance committee meeting at 6 p.m. in the first floor conference room. And then that will be followed up by a governance committee meeting also on Monday, March 2nd at 7 p.m. here in the PDC. We have an HR committee meeting scheduled for next week, Wednesday, March 4th at 1 p.m. in the first floor conference room. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting is on Monday, March 9th at 6:30 p.m. A reminder, that's our only regular school board meeting for the month of March. Again, that's on Monday, March 9th. And just a note, it's not an upcoming meeting, but spring break is the week of March 23rd through the 27th.
And then Chelsea, you'll be reaching out to set up a special board meeting the first week of March. So look for that also.
Which week?
The first week of, or the last week of March. I'm sorry, not first week, last week. Number 8, contemplated closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Stat 1985, sub 1, sub C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, and Wisconsin Statute 1985, sub 1, sub E, deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing in public lands, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. And we're going to be talking about the superintendent search and superintendent contract and employment. And I would ask for,
So moved.
It-
You have to roll call that.
yeah, I was, Ed,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Tracy?
Yes.
Annette's a yes.
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 All right, we are in executive session. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate everything